the go-to champion for EasyHoon
Yes.
right now. Now, NaJin, too, is really growing very fast as a top-tier mid laner. His Gragas is an enormous threat. Lulu taken away from EasyHoon as well. So we've had a little bit of an interesting draft. Elise is up, so that could be taken.
NaJin also has, of course, played Ziggs here and there too. One of the earlier players to adopt Ziggs, I would say, playing it even in the last season of NLB in the finals against CJ and Displays. And are they going to take Lee Sin for Horo right away? I heard Horo talking backstage. This is odd to me because I heard Horo talking with one of the Korean commentators backstage, and they were talking about Elise and Kha'Zix kind of as the top tier junglers that jungle players like to prioritize. Horo was just saying, I don't think there's a big difference. It's just style and how you play them that's going to matter. But then he's going to go in and lock in Lee Sin.
That is a very curious first pick from S.
Yes.
I really don't know what to make of that. We'll see what they're planning. This may be some sort of trick. Because prioritizing, when you have Kha'Zix and Elise available, prioritizing Lee Sin doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
Right. Now, Horo's a great Lee Sin player.
No,
give him
no
that.
doubt, no
Yes.
doubt.
But that doesn't mean it's not odd. And are we going to see Elise taken by Blacksword right away? They did hover over Kha'Zix for a little bit, but Elise going to be the lock-in, and then Thresh for Kane.
Yeah, we do see the Annie ban against Kane. Kane and Lustboy, the big Annie players here in Korea, known for their quality of their Annie engages, and the Thresh a backup pick for Kane, and that'll be prioritized here alongside Helios. So actually probably not going to be an Evelynn this game, so a little bit of a shakeup here. And this will be the first time we've seen Helios play Evelynn since he moved over to Sword.
Yes, indeed. Playing Elise. And EasyHoon looking not amused as always.
He always has a long face.
He does. And there is a Wolf. Is he sleeping? No, he's not.
His glasses are slightly askew.
Almost looked as if he was.
Tidy up there, Wolf.
Goodness.
Even out your glasses.
There we go. Zyra. All right, Zyra locked in. S throwing us for loops here and there.
The Renekton, not a surprise, though. Marin loves to play on Renekton with the early Tiamat. He adores being aggressive in lane. And he's just so good at getting into the back line on Renekton via flanks in the late game.
All right, what are we going to see that mid pick coming out from Black Sword, or are they going to save it for last? Of course, they have two champions to pick. Looks like NaJin is thinking about picking a champion for himself, hovering back and forth between Zed and Orianna. Orianna, of course, still very commonly used.
Yeah, I doubt he's going to be selecting Zed blindly into the mid lane right now, but Orianna is a much safer pick if you are going to pick blindly. Now, interesting that they're saving their AD carry pick, it seems, for last here, because the last time Sword did this, they picked Twitch. So I think they're waiting to see if they can play Twitch again. Especially because they have Thresh, and Thresh Twitch is like the quintessential. Yeah, they know.
S calling them out.
SKT knows what's up.
S
they know
calling
what's up.
them out right away. I would be very surprised if they locked in Twitch.
No, they're not going to play Twitch, but they're
they're
messing. They're pretty smiling.
I like
right
it.
There.
I love this from SKT, and of course the coaches are in the booth, so I wouldn't doubt if Koma helped figure this out for the team. Of course, the players.
It's actually pretty transparent here, but now Black Sword played Twitch beautifully in Champions. Prey had amazing setups on flank spray and praise coming out of ambush. It was, I would never have thought you could play Twitch like in the current meta, but they really showed how to do it. They didn't siege turrets, that's Twitch's weakness. They were setting up really good flank attacks. When their opponents tried to siege, Twitch would just come in from the side and blow them up at their own turrets. So it was very, very well played. And it throws teams for a loop, too. Nobody plays Twitch right now. Nobody is used to practicing against it.
And are we going to see Sword still go for the Twitch? Now, S.
It's a little bit dangerous with LeBlanc and the assassination potential, but they're going to go for it.
They are going to go for it. Yeah, with LeBlanc there, and of course, not the typical Caitlyn that a lot of players like to use against LeBlanc to keep LeBlanc away. If LeBlanc gets in without getting caught by Thresh first, then Prey's in a little bit of trouble. We'll see, though. Like you said, if anyone's going to show us how to do it once again, it probably is going to be this team right now.
Of course, and if Limit can get through the laning phase against Marin, You know, you have this Orianna-Shyvana combo that will light people up in terms of CC and initiation, and then when that spray and pray gets rolling, the damage is absolutely insane.
Yeah, of course, Shyvana also a champion known for flanking, so there is that double flank threat coming in. But right now we're looking at the picks from S. Of course, the Lee Sin throwing us for a little bit of a loop. Zyra also, we have seen other players play it, but some pros still questioning the viability of Zyra. And then on this side for Black Sword, we do have that Twitch as the highlight pick on Prey. The rest are pretty standard for the other players.
I think the Lee Sin coming in first was more of a strategy and picks and bans from S, where they wanted to make sure that they could get some good laners, so they picked an catch-all jungler and then built their lanes after that. So it is a bit of an unorthodox pick ban strategy, not to just jump for those power picks, but kind of go for a flex pick first.
We'll see how it works out for them. First set between SK Telecom T1 going up against NaJin EM Fire. It will be S going up on blue side to kick us off for the night or morning for all you lovely global fans out there. And then we will have Black Sword for NaJin on the purple side.
So I have to ask you, Chobra, now that we have some of these League of Legends players like Crazy and Kanye West invigorating the Korean hip-hop scene, are we going to see you under your alter ego, Chotorius B.I.G., join them soon for maybe like a triple play album? Because I'm really looking forward to that.
You know, I think, I guess the cat's out of the bag. Our future plans have all been leaked. Prey, Kane, and I have all been living double lives. See you guys on the streets. Coming to a show.
The mean streets of Seoul.
The mean streets of Seoul. Look out for our YouTube channel. Here we go. All right. But before we go there, we'll see if Prey and Kane can win this game. Because if they win, I'm sure our careers will have to go on hold. I'll just have to wait for them a little bit. Now, Shyvana has gone for that cloth armor. Of course, Doran's shield. You know, I was actually quite surprised to see Doran's shield still just so commonly used. Of course, it is safer, but with the slight changes, I know, at least especially in solo queue in Korea, a lot of the pros have been saying, yeah, I don't know if it's as worth it. But in a pro versus pro setting, you always go for what's safest, as we've noticed in the Korean scene.
Its power, especially on squishy champions such as Zyra, is undeniable. And in this situation, while we have seen more Spell Thief on Zyra, now that we're on 4.3, the kill potential of Thresh Twitch, if Zyra gets hit by a death sentence, that Zyra is dead if she has Spell Thief. She's going to need that extra tankiness just because of the amount of damage that happens in lane. But we're not even going to see that. We are going to see a lane swap coming in.
Yes, we are indeed. Prey and Kane go into that top lane, and we are seeing Limit just running the jungle a little bit with Helios to give time for Bang & Wolf to push up in that bot lane and then not have to deal with just sitting at tower doing nothing. Is going to clean up the wolves for the NaJin side of things, as we see on your screen right now. Meanwhile, Marin and Horo also doing the same, going all the way through to raids, and so is Limit. So
exciting time with jungle follows.
Yeah, there we go. Double jungles all the way.
A little bit of trading right there. Izune putting some damage onto Nagne. So I want to talk about this Twitch play, because really Black Sword is the only team in the world that plays Twitch like this right now. So first let's ask, why isn't Twitch in the meta? And the problem with Twitch is he is absolute garbage at sieging turrets because he has no movement abilities, and he gets caught very easily while he's trying to auto turrets. Basically, there are about 1 million forms of hard engage in this game right now, especially on the current pick of supports and junglers. And he's really, really easy to punish when he's standing there autoing a turret. So you can't siege with Twitch very well. Now, in a meta that rewards all of this fast pushing and wave clearing and all of that stuff early from AD carries, rapid rotations, nice dodge from Limit right there. He's just not optimal. Does he still do a ridiculous amount of damage in team fights? Yes. So he requires Now, Black Sword has shown me, and I think shown everybody, that he's still a viable pick, but he has to be played in a certain way. Now, this is a trick that NaJin Black Sword has developed where they can play this Twitch, and like I said earlier, teams like us are not going to be used to playing against this weird, like, ambush, flanking you style that Twitch has, and Prey is really, really good at it, and they're very practiced at it as well. And so, back in Champions, they were able just to explode the enemy team. It was pretty impressive.
Well, meanwhile, we are seeing the typical lane race down to the tier 2. Is S going to continue pushing up to the inhibitor? They did take the tower down first, but only by
Well, they probably want to break the freeze, so that would be...
They're still going.
Yeah, they want to break the freeze. They're just breaking the freeze. They're not actually going to siege this.
Yeah, it would make sense.
They're clearing out the minion wave. Both teams actually going to take this approach because you don't want your top laner getting super behind because the other one is able to freeze close to the tower.
There we go. So very similar situations now. Is us just going to go straight for a dragon? The movement seems to indicate so. It would make a lot of sense because we know for a fact that Limit has to now farm up that lane, and the other members have just gone back home. And it's interesting you talk about Twitch in that sense, Monty, because we're seeing that with Vayne in some senses too, from Piglet and SKT T1K. So some of these players and teams want to bring back AD carries in different ways.
Yeah, very different style of play with Vayne though. But yes, they are being used in weird ways, and you really have to cultivate the use of AD carries like this as a team because, like I said, it's surprising, but they're not plug and play. You can't plug and play Vayne right now. She just doesn't work that way. Her wave clear isn't good enough. You have to go for kills. You can't really split push with her anymore. If you're farming up from tier 2 turret, you have to dive people very early on with Cutlass or with a fast blade of the Ruin King. And with Twitch, you're basically trying to force team fights when they set up a siege or surprise them as a team when they're rotating in between objectives. Whoop. So it is a bit different right here. Ping's going down, and we do see everybody coming up into the top lane now.
T1S really focusing on this top lane. Prey the only one up there for now. Kane is coming up. Now Kane and Prey were looking for a gank in mid. They didn't get it. Kane has come up, so they should be able to hold this off for a little while longer while Horo is trying to focus down in mid. Nagne's been having a bit of a tough time in lane. He had to go back and get a second Doran's ring and still falling behind in CS, while EasyHoon still hasn't gone back for a first buy. Prey and Kane just being very annoyed by this poke and push from the Wolfband combo. Of course, Zyra and Sivir, very annoying to deal with. Very good pushing capability. Marin has been delayed going back, so that gives time for Limit to really shove that lane up harder, and we'll see if what he chooses to do after he reaches the tower. Is he just going to try to bring it down as fast as possible?
No, but there is going to be quite a bit of CS lost here. Wow.
Wow.
He's taking out the lane the wave as fast as possible. This is a denial technique onto Marin, so he just wanted to make sure that as many of his minions died right here. He got the CS that he needed to get some damage down onto this turret before Marin shows up into lane. And he already has that 6, so Marin has to come in right now and try and call the meek on these minions, but there's the proxy farming coming in from Limit. So Limit doing a good job here, knowing how to pressure Marin. And Marin does what Marin does, which is he's going to go for some damage first, even though he was in a 2v1.
And he's made this work before, as you can see right now, actually putting down tons of damage onto Limit, but Limit is going to be able to go back and buy quite a few things, I would imagine. He's well ahead in terms of CS. He's had time. He's only, he still hasn't bought anything extra since his first buy. So we'll see what he comes back with.
Well, he'll get a Ninja Tabby. That's usually what you get when you're laning against Renekton.
Yep, there you go. And a Chain Vest to boot. So should be able to deal with that extra damage coming in from that Renekton. Prey not in too much trouble. The Lantern was right there, and also Horo was well ahead of his team. So just some extra damage onto that Twitch, but nothing going to happen yet. Horo not going to hang around too long. Where is he as EasyHoon's coming up?
Going
to
for the
top
4-man.
Helios prepared nearby. Now Horo's been spotted. EasyHoon.
It's pre-6 for NaJin though, so they may, I'm seeing if they wait for 6 on their AD and support or not. They try and grab Horo. That Death Sentence will miss. They're not going to be able to dive just yet. And they'll have to go back. Nagne there, just getting a ward down so he can keep some better eyes on LeBlanc, see if she goes up through Sword's red side jungle again.
Yep, they did spot Easy Hoon also. So that gank's been prevented by Black Sword. They're back to farming. Meanwhile, Marin has now shoved Limit all the way back to his tier 2 and is just happy to trade back and forth. This is getting a little bit dangerous. He's just taking damage one way. Limit's happy to trade for that one.
Yeah, he definitely has that big item advantage right now, so.
Is Marin just gonna teleport back? No, Limit's not gonna let him.
Limit's sold back, actually. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, wow. He didn't come back with a chain vest. He went for the Giant's Belt. And now he's chasing down Marin, forces Marin to use his ult. So ult for ult trade, we see this all the time between Shyvana and Renekton. Now Helios in lane for a gank. He hasn't been spotted yet, but should he move forward, he will be spotted. He's actually just going to go home. Both these junglers not spending too much time in a single lane. Meanwhile, Limit chasing down Marin. The Ignite is on, but the tower is there.
Yeah, not going to be able to deal with that. But it's okay. You know, Limit doesn't have to over-pursue that. He's already winning this lane. And I think the reason why he decided to go for that Giant's Belt instead of the Ninja Tabby and the Chain Vest, thinking better on it, was that he was concerned about a possible LeBlanc roam, because that makes him, he doesn't have any extra HP with that build. It would make him very vulnerable to LeBlanc burst. And since Nagne has been pushed back for a lot of this laning phase, and LeBlanc has been able to roam, and he wanted really badly to push forward. However, Helios is coming into the bottom of the game. Oh, this is very bad.
Oh, Marin is going to get caught between a 2v1. The ult isn't there. There's the flash, but Limit going to flash forward for the first blood. Meanwhile, top lane, there's another gank, but Kane completely whiffs his hook. Very unfortunate there. I actually feel bad for Kane that we saw that on screen. I mean, I'm sure it was the spur of the moment. He was just spamming all his abilities, it seems, to try to catch Horo. Now, they are in trouble. The box is gone. Horo knows this. Horo still has his Dragon's Rage. Prey just going to get out safely. Good play on the side of NaJin, and Kane just going to die. Really no option there. Okay.
Yeah, when you miss a hook like that, because basically he was hoping to get the hook into the box so he could get some tower damage onto one of the champions right there, but wasn't able to pull it off. So that meant that everybody was at full HP to actually complete that dive. So a pretty big mistake. But
I still give him an A for effort. Meanwhile, Helios is going to pay for sticking around too long to get the tower. Not able to connect the cocoon as Horo jumps through for the resonating strike.
So tower for tower right there. And we haven't seen a lot. Basically right now, Twitch is going to have a huge power spike when he gets Blade of the Ruined King, and that's when they're going to be looking to fight. However, SKTS moving down here towards this dragon. They will get it. Looks like uncontested.
Kane, is he going to redeem himself? He doesn't really have too many options. Not much backup for him, while Wolf is here for SKT. So Sword just going to have to give up that one. An easy one going back to lane. See what Nagne returns with, hopefully a full Chalice and boots, or actually just going to go for the whole Athene's Unholy Grail. Going for his stats first.
Yeah, Limit actually completing Sunfire right now. Very interesting pickup for him. So he's going to be pretty tanky against this Tiamat Renekton.
Hasn't chosen to get some magic resist in between, just went straight for the full item. Of course, it does have a good chunk of health. He's trading with Marin, but Horo is nearby. Limit needs to watch out his ult, not fully charged just yet. Marin going through, looking for another stun. Actually body blocking Limit away from an escape. There's the Ignite down at him, and Horo helps pick up the kill for Marin against Limit.
You don't play that aggressively. I mean, even though Dominus was down, they didn't have sufficient wards deep in the jungle, so they weren't keeping eyes, but they do get the mid turret. And a little bit dangerous when you are so close to having your ult up, but don't quite have it yet. So Limit
a little bit ahead of himself.
A little bit ahead.
In the end, still worked out for the team. Of course, Horo was in bottom, had to stay a little bit longer to help get that kill.
Ooh, okay, here's the Blade of the Ruined King now. On to Prey.
Exciting times. Yeah, he's been farming up in top silently until he could finish that item. Still doesn't have boots, but that's okay, because like you said, Monty, if he plays the same way, it's just going to be ambush in. Boots not really going to be an issue if you can kill people with your Spray and Pray before they escape. Of course, Blade of the Ruined King does help you chase or run away, depending on the situation. With that active, steal some movement speed, so see how that goes. Good warding coming in from Sword. We're seeing even in the middle of the lane just to keep eyes on map movement, because there have been a lot of focus from T1S to try to push back this mid as they lost their tier 1. 4 towers, 3, an advantage of Black Sword. Now Prey actually just going to hang out in bottom and farm this wave up against Marin, while Limit is now the one going top.
Res Seal. Okay, they're coming in for a flank right here, around to Renekton. And so he's trying to get out of here. Looks like they need to stop his recall, but they're not going to go for it. And instead, this is giving SKTS a chance to just rush the mid lane.
Yeah, T1S is going to get what they want. They're going to get a lot of damage onto this one. NaJin should be able to hold it back for now. How fast? Oh, actually, he's just going to use a shockwave right away to force damage onto Wolf. This is going to force T1S back a little bit. NaJin not hesitating.
I think that was the right move right there. You need to be able to keep that turret up. But they didn't. Baron did not actually end up going back. He saw everybody leaving that side and coming back to defend in mid lane, so he's able to stick around. Limit was trying to clear out some pink wards.
Yeah, map movement has become so much more intricate with recent patches, Monty. We see these mind games of people, saying, well, we might, you know what, Marin might get baited into a gank, but then let's push mid, and then if they move, he's not going to fully finish his teleport.
Now they don't have shockwave right here.
Uh-oh, Marin goes in right away with the dominance. Helios is going to back out. So yeah, they didn't want to deal with that. Like you said, the shockwave not there, so they don't have all of their arsenal. Also, Twitch was pretty far away, still farming up that bottom lane. All he's been doing, really, has been eating minions.
I'm really surprised that they haven't tried to make a play sooner, especially that was the kind of opportunity that NaJin Blacksword used so well against the Falcons when they played with this Twitch, was when the siege came in, Prey would be right there on the flank just opening up with the spray and pray, but he kept farming in the bottom lane. So I don't really know what he's waiting for. He has a large power spike with that Blade of the Ruined King. He may want just a little bit more attack speed. But he needs to get going and start grouping with the team. They've got the Wombo combo. This is prime time for that. Mara not able to hang in there with Prey right now.
Yeah, he only has that Tiamat. Also had to go for Mercury Treads, of course, to negate some of that hard CC coming in from Black Sword, and decent magic damage too from both Elise, Orianna, and also Shyvana, actually. Forgot about that. Prey coming in. There we go. Marin is just going to get bursted down right away. He does try to slice and dice. The cocoon is going to miss thanks to a nice flash from Marin. So an ult used and trade for a flash.
Yeah, no flash follow-up there from Prey either. So he was a little bit concerned about where everyone else was, but no ultimate at the time on Marin either, so they thought they could make that play. Now, they didn't quite get it. Limit still pushing up here. They have put, interestingly, they have put that Twitch into the Renekton lane, more than likely because he's got that range. So with Marin with no defensive items right now, that Twitch has a big advantage being the AD carry and ability to duel him and kite him out with the Blade of the Ruined King. So I like the lane allocation that we're seeing from NaJin Blacksword. It's also allowing Limit to get some decent farm all by his lonesome.
Yep, and nice pink wards coming in from Black Sword. We do see a couple already on the map from T1S. And all right, T1S now grouping up in mid. They were spotted by that ward just now in the reverse. Oro also going to be spotted by that. So Black Sword should know very well. Helios just going to send a Spiderling to shoo off the 4 members of T1S. And now Black Sword continuing to push mid.
Got 5
have all members there. Marin is a bit of ways away. Shockwave is back. Oro needs to watch out. They're going to back off before they're forced into a fight they don't want to be a part of.
Yeah, you have to be very worried about that.
Kane gets caught by the Grasping Roots. Not going to happen much there. Not much going to happen there, rather.
15 seconds on drag.
All right, yeah, I think Black Sword wanted to make a movement there. Horo gets caught, not into the box just yet. There we go, he gets a proc there. Prey gets a quick kill onto Lee Sin, and now we do hear On the Hunt coming in for T1S, but it's going to have to use for escape. They couldn't burst down Limit fast enough, and that should be a good dragon for Black Sword. T1S still pretty confident about contesting this as they do have dominance up for Marin.
Still has Shockwave.
And Limit trying to keep them away from the side. Now he draws out Marin all the way. The Shockwave misses all 3 members, though. Nice flash coming in from Wolf. They will eventually get that kill onto Zyra. And now Marin has to run away. Limit has stayed alive so well all this time. Nice cocoon onto Renekton. Can Helios follow up? There we go. A nice play coming in from Kane. Another kill for Black Sword. Easy and gets slowed by the casket. Helios now chasing through. Doesn't need mana in spider form. Another kill for NaJin as they win that fight quite convincingly and now turning to Dragon.
Kane was huge in that fight. The way that he set up so many of those kills, his flash play at the end as well onto Marin. He did get blown up by Easyun's LeBlanc, but his engages were absolutely crucial in that situation. Horo, he also flayed Horo out of his W.
Yes. Just a lot of big plays from him.
Really nice CC and control over the team fight from Kane. Very well done.
Definitely redeems himself from the earlier play. Also kicked it off with a nice hook in the beginning against Horo to keep him in the box with that play. Like you said, Monty allowing Prey to pick up the kill. And without Lee Sin there early, the only real initiation they had was from Marin, and he was busy trying to keep Limit away. So nice play by Limit to keep Renekton's attention. Red buff was stolen by T1S, so something to be happy about. Let's look at the replay.
Yeah, look at
this. Is after Horo has died.
So Kane coming in here onto Wolf, gets the hook. Now the shockwave misses due to the flash. Helios and Kane go after Wolf, however. They are able to pick him up. And watch Kane right here, pulls Prey over, and then Marin flash flay right here in order to secure that kill. Does get blown up, but basically we didn't see the earlier kill on the Horo, which was also spectacular. But Kane set up a couple of those kills beautifully.
Very true.
And also just kept Prey next to him to peel for him the entire time with the Lantern. You can tell how well that Prey and Kane play together.
Yes, they're very well of each other's position, especially Kane keeping good eyes on Prey, and we've seen that with a lot of these age-old bottom duos where the supports are so aware of their AD's position, they make sure that they can create space for the AD carry to make big plays, and Helios is going to get caught between everyone on the side of T1S. Now Prey is here to try to help him out, but this could be dangerous. There we go. There's the Blade of the Ruin King. Helios needs to get on that Lantern, not able to. Prey tried to move out of the way. Now he's the one who wants to get on the Lantern, but could not do so. The box has to be used for disengage. Bit of an unfortunate situation for Blacksword, losing 2 members to a greedy invade on that red buff.
Yeah, very, very sloppy from NaJin Blacksword. In a way, they're playing into SK Telecom's hands. If we look at the composition and the itemization, Spirit of the Elder Lizard first onto Horo. He's just got that Sightstone right down, another Ruby Crystal. Not tanky. Marin isn't that tanky. But what they do have is a lot of damage. A lot of burst damage. They have to be so careful about giving those picks away. Helios and Prey, they can afford to give up that red buff right now. They have a lot more tankiness. Limit's built tanky. Helios is built tanky. And they've got a lot of damage coming out of the Spray and Pray and a nearly completed death cap onto Nagne as well for the AoE. So right now we saw, first off, SKTS kind of making a mistake and trying to fight at that dragon when they're made for picks. And this time we saw Helios and Prey getting out of position, allowing themselves to be picked by this SKTS composition. And those 2 mistakes equal pretty much dead even global gold here.
Yeah, we're very neck and neck in this match. Only 1 tower difference, like you said, only 1 kill difference. And then dead even in gold. So again, it's going to be down to if the teams can play their compositions the way they intend to. And we're seeing the effort put forth, but nice warding from both teams is thwarting a lot of that. Prey just putting down immediate damage onto Horo is going to take a Sonic Wave to the face, but he should be able to lifesteal that back, no problem.
Marin's item builds are so crazy on Renekton. Getting a Spirit, completing your Spirit Visage right now,
wow,
is really weird.
Well,
because not only because of the nerfs to that item, but it just doesn't do much for you against this Twitch, which is the major damage threat. Now he will have that reduced cooldown, so he can push the wave faster, especially with the Tiamat, but still not going to be tremendously useful in terms of team fights.
Yeah, it is great for his push, like you said. Of course, the regen also going to help him stick around for longer, but yeah, if he wants to get on top of Twitch, that's going to be an issue. Now, is he concerned with just keeping some other members perhaps out of the game? I'm not so sure. The hook not going to hit. Now they do see the hook is down, so there's the on the hunt coming in. Helios actually gets caught. He has to repel out, and Nagne caught way in the back of the fight. Gets bursted down before Shockwave can even go off. Horo is going to get pulled back. Now Marin is sticking onto Prey as much as he can, but he's surrounded by Limit, and now everyone left on the Black Sword team. Prey switching targets right away to make sure he can secure another kill on Wolf. Nice play by Kane. Once again, good awareness for his AD carry to more or less win that fight for Black Sword, but they do have to back off.
I honestly think that Marin's itemization is really costing SKTS in this game. If he had had,
actually finds a good target.
Yeah, if he had had a little bit more, wow, nice, very well done, Prey, getting picked off right there by EasyHoon. But I think if Marin had been a little tankier and been able to hold on to Prey a bit better, last a bit longer right there, that SKTS may have been able to clean that up. Now they do get a tower off of it. So, I mean, pretty even, all things considered. SKTS maybe got a little bit of an edge, but if you take a look at that again, first off, the setup is beautiful. NaJin gets kicked in. He doesn't even have a chance to complete the animation on his shockwave right here before he dies, so it does absolutely nothing. Now watch Marin get onto Prey. So Prey actually shooting over the top, trying to get down Horo first. Kane will peel him off right there. Marin, on the other hand, gets onto Prey, tries to deal as much damage, but he just starts melting as soon as Prey targets him, and then Wolf falling to a similar fate right there. NaJin now clearing out their jungle with the blue buff.
Yeah, so a bit unfortunate for Blacksword, of course, that Prey did get picked off after that fight as he was trying to retreat. EasyHoon chasing through right away, knows his limits, of course, as that assassin. If it's a 1v1, you're just going to delete that Twitch before you can do anything.
It was a really good setup by Horo, though. You have to be able to flank against this Orianna and Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they just are able to stand in the back and get that combo off, there's no way that SKTS can win a team fight. So they have to be a little bit tricky. They have to be able to try and use their single target damage to pick one of those carries off. And NaJin needs to be much more careful in the future about warding their flanks.
Yep, the Dragon now being contested. Blacksword already started, so NaJin trying to bring this Dragon down. It's regenning back and forth, trying to clear wards as much as possible. And Dragon is going to regen fully as Blacksword once again starts leashing it. Now Limit trying to keep the entire team of T1S away. Does take some damage from EasyHoon, but he's still in good health. Meanwhile, Wolf is at half health. So how can Blacksword manage this situation? They do get a cocoon on Horo, not going to matter too much. Dragon has been regenning back and forth, so still alive, but they should be able to get it this time unless Horo gets the steal. No, they are going to get Dragon for Blacksword. Limit flies in, doesn't hit anyone with the ultimate, but he is keeping 4 members busy. Same thing with Marin, though, and Marin is the one able to leave the fight alive while Limit has died in that 4v1.
Now, they did get the Dragon for it, however, so Limit a bit overextended right there. Marin did a good job of zoning people out, then dashing back into his team so that there wasn't much follow-up.
Good.
Now, can they get this actual Tier 2 turret? SKTS, yes, they will.
They're going to take the advantage from that fight. Takes another tower in that mid lane. Good pink ward by EasyHoon, just in the middle of the flank, although in plain view. But again, like you said, Monty, this Twitch is focused on flanking and deleting, so the pink ward would have given EasyHoon the edge to jump on top of Twitch.
Yeah, definitely.
So Sword back to pushing their lanes forward.
Yeah, Prey, you can see he's very worried about the pick potential of LeBlanc right here. He already has that
Negatron
cloak very early. The thing about Twitch is with Blade and with Phantom Dancer, with how much damage his ultimate does, you don't really need too many damage items in order to just wreck an entire team.
Yeah, it's still a very potent ability that he has in his skill set. Now Helios, since the laning phases have ended, hasn't really been able to show us his moves on Elise. He did get caught in that fight in mid earlier. Of course, this time he was focused on securing that Dragon, which him and Prey were able to do, so can't blame him there. But just the situations really haven't been in his favor for him to help set something up. T1S very aware of the game plan from Blacksword, and Sword seems to be also, if we just look at both teams' warding patterns, that's resulting in Sword playing a bit more cautious, while T1S has champions like Renekton and Lee Sin who can jump in more aggressively and try to set something up for their teams.
I really wonder what Limit is doing with this chain vest that he has. Oh,
there's the On the Hunt. He does block the command attack, but does get slowed by the dissonance, and Helios does get caught, but there's a nice spray and pray coming in from none other than Prey himself, and Helios still alive. Limit is able to finish off LeBlanc, and that's safety for Prey. He's going to get another kill for his team against Horo. Limit does get caught by the Grasping Roots. That's going to be what saves Bang and Wolf. And Wolf needs to run away. There's a distance on Kane. He wants to get the hook. Can he catch up? Marin is on the side. Prey needs to be careful. He's in ambush. There we go. Nice hook from the Flay. And that's going to lead right to a Baron for Blacksword. T1S only has 2 members.
Is very low. They did kill Horo, though, who's been stealing a lot of Barons recently.
And there's the Dominus coming in. That's a lot of damage threat coming in from T1S just by appearing on screen. But Sword still focused on taking this Baron. They do have that Blade of the Ruined King on Twitch. Now Helios, can he go in for the smite? Nagane is getting focused. Helios needs to jump in and help finish it. There we go. There's the Baron buff. Helios, is he going to live through thanks to regen? Yes, I think so. The damage tick not going to be enough. Easy Hoon comes in. They need to watch out. Horo also going to chase down Nagane. They need to survive as much as possible. Nice flash. They want to keep this Baron buff. Helios trying to focus on one side of things. Horo going to take the other. There's a nice hook onto Horo. They're just going to force him away.
Smart.
Good choice by Black Sword. They don't want to fight, even though Prey is at full health.
Yeah, very smart by Black Sword right there, just to pull back. And honestly, that Baron was very well contested by SKTS, given the circumstances. They made it pretty much as difficult as possible for NaJin Black Sword to take what should have been a very easy Baron.
And that gives T1S time to try to push this tower, but like you said, Prey shows himself right away. A nice hook onto Easium, but they can't quite jump in. Limit wasn't in the front line first to help protect for Prey, so they're just going to force T1S away from the tier 2. Sword does protect the tower. They have all 5 Baron buffs. Let's look at this fight again.
Yeah, pulling Nagane back immediately. Now you see Helios and Easy Hoon combined for a ton of damage right there, and Limit coming over the side. He's going to ult right over the wall. Easy Hoon very surprised that there's a dragon coming in from the flank, and then that's just some kiting by the 3 members of SKT.
Yeah, the spray of
NaJin in the river right there.
The spray and pray set up for Prey. We saw that their Helios gets caught, but a surprise ult from the brush really throwing Easy Hoon off and chasing him off scared, only to be killed by Limit over the wall. So well played. Now they do pull ahead finally with a bit more of a decisive lead than we've seen so far in this game. And Easy Hoon, oh, look at the damage. Who's the assassin now?
Prey is so good at Twitch. It's just ridiculous.
Easy Hoon is not pleased with that play. That was scary. Wow, just deleted off the map.
Yeah, using his ult for that.
Just getting a taste of his own medicine really as LeBlanc getting assassinated right away, and now with the Baron buff, they should be able to take this inhibitor tower no problem, even if it takes another wave. Not even the attack speed coming in from Prey. Very, very nice. Also, of course, Limit has a double bite.
I don't know what Limit's doing with this extra chain vest. It's weird. Normally we would see him go Randuin's. But I don't know if he's going to build a GA or if he's going to build maybe a Thornmail. I'm a bit confused, however.
He's going to buy an Atmas, actually.
Oh,
he's bringing it back. I know you forgot about that item, but there is another build path for the chain vest. I know this. We'll see.
Chubber likes to troll Korean solo queue with Atmas.
I like to build Atmas on my tank Yasuo. It wins games at 55 minutes if we go there, but I die about 10 times on the way. We will see what he builds. I am also curious now that you've brought it up, Monty. They're going to go for the Dragon first. Limit's just going to push down that bottom lane. Actually, they're all going to keep going because they still have that Baron buff, trying to make the most use out of it.
NaJin Black Sword, what a great game from them. And you can really tell, too, that SK Telecom is a little... They don't really know how to play against this Twitch, and who can blame them? Nobody does this.
Yeah, and you know...
And it's so weird.
It just shows the
really
power right
strange
now
to deal with, because there's no other AD carry really in the game that you can just be farming in lane, and you can have a million wards around you, and all of a sudden you're dead.
Yes.
Because he'll just sneak through all of them. No way to see his rotation. So the pressure that Twitch creates if you're farming, you have to play very far back, and Easy Hoon learning that the hard way as he just gets jumped by Twitch in the mid lane. And especially now that Prey has this Negatron cloak, combined with the lifesteal he can get from his Blade of the Ruined King, he's able to survive a rotation from LeBlanc.
Now, Limit has just gone for the Thornmail, actually, with the Chain Vest. Which
That's a weird build in this game.
It is a bit odd, because we're not, it's not like a Caitlyn. I mean, Sivir, of course, does rely on auto attacks, but not the most powerful of auto attacks.
I honestly think that if he was going to... There are 2 things he could have done. I think that either getting a Giant's Belt into Randuin's, just because the extra health against the LeBlanc damage would have been great. Mm-hmm. And he's not really going to be fighting Renekton in team fights. Both of them are going to try to dive into the back line. So he's only really worried about Bang. So in that case, that gives you better HP against LeBlanc and some armor to deal with Bang. And it gives you that slow as well. Or you just build Blade, honestly.
Yeah, he does have the Giant's Bolt, of course, but again, not finished into a Randuin, so still has the whole health armor concept, just with the reverse damage.
I think the itemization of both top laners in this game has been a little bit suspect, particularly Marin. I think that if Marin,
early Visage,
if Marin had not gone Tiamat Visage, we would be looking at a very different game right now.
Yeah, because that fight in mid very early on in the game.
And Prey has just been able to destroy Marin. I mean, it's a different story now, but now there's a 10,000 gold lead for NaJin Blacksword.
Yeah, they've really pulled well ahead. Now the Baron buff has ended. Baron up in a minute 40.
Oh, Prey.
Prey just gonna ambush that pink ward. Doesn't want to deal with that. You know, it's the whole E factor all over again, but in a way scarier, because if you're alone, you're definitely dead. Tries to kill off Wolf with that Shockwave, not going to happen, but it is going to chase him back. He has to go to the fountain. Now that means Shockwave is off, so the siege is going to be a bit harder should T1S choose to initiate. They have to rely on Kayn for the peel, but Prey can rip through these towers. He's going to try to zone people with his poison cast. They're going to need another wave.
Yeah, you see that they're so scared to siege, though. This is the thing about Twitch, is he's just absolutely terrible at this. So
he's been playing quite cautious in front of this tower, and with the Shockwave down too.
Right, they had to use an ultimate to get someone off of tower just so they could siege right there. So it's pretty high risk to siege with the Twitch in this situation.
Limit pretty confident taking the tower, but Bar's gonna go in and try to hard initiate Horo with the kick all the way back. But was it worth it for T1S? Horo gets melted right away to Prey. No one there to help protect him as Prey is able to still put out full damage all the way in the back, has been untouched. Horo was not able to find Twitch as the target for that kick, and that might as well be game against T1S. Are we going to see Sword go for Baron right after? No, they're actually just going to go for the second inhibitor, and then it should be perfect timing for Baron 20 seconds later.
Yeah, Kayn has been such a monster this game.
Yeah, ever since that hook.
Kayn is really the MVP. What he's been able to do for Prey in team fights has been absolutely ridiculous. And of course, this is a time-tested combo. We've seen this since the Champions Winter Finals in 2012, 2013. Yes. the Thresh Twitch combo from Prey and Kayn. So they've had basically years to work on this right now, and they are very, very good at it.
Sword has gone back. Now Helios is at half health. Prey is just going to keep full health and get that red buff. Kayn also pretty low, so if they want to contest this Baron, it's going to be a bit tough.
So they could just go back one by one.
Yeah,
because they know it's a 5v4 as long as they sit there, so they can send back one or two people at a time because they know where Marin is. No problem.
Yep, Marin.
Not with the. That's a bit of a risk. No home guard boots on him.
Well, then he can just blame Kayn and be like, well, I was ahead of you anyway, so.
And they're showing Nagne as well, clearing this out.
Yeah, that's a sign for Baron right away for T1S. They get this Baron, it's going to be tough. Spray and Pray did just come up for Prey, so T1S also has to deal with that threat. Limit is here. Baron pretty low. I don't know if they can go for the steal. They're using everything on the side of T1S to try to keep Helios away, but Helios jumps in. So, and there we go, the steal for NaJin Blacksword on that Baron. Prey gets kicked right into the middle of the fight and melted, though. Was it worth it? Helios still chasing through. He is finally going to go down. No, not yet. Nice command protect coming in from Nagne. They're going to chase away Marin and Wolf, and now the base is getting ripped apart. Helios very happy about that play. And with that, Black Sword is going to try to push through. Now we are going to see a full health Renekton and Zyra come forward. Can they block it, though? The only one missing is Twitch. We have 3 members at full health and 4 Baron buffs. There we go. 1 tower down. The next one also going to melt. Then we have 2 lanes of super minions. I think that's game for Black Sword over T1S. NaJin leading 1-0 in this matchup.
Very impressive win.
Wow.
From NaJin Blacksword. And man, Helios, he's really come alive since